Hey YouTube, Chef Christopher back in the kitchen again with another delicious recipe to tell you. Today I'm going to teach you how to make meatloaf. I'm not going to teach you how to make my meatloaf because that's a chef secret. But I'm going to teach you how to make meatloaf my way, at least get all the bases down, and then you can do the recipe however you want to. But let's get down to it. First thing we're going to do, get our vegetables. I have cut onion, I have cut bell pepper, I have minced garlic, breadcrumbs, I use beef bouillon, beef base. I have the cubes sitting in just a little bit of water to get them to start dissolving. I have my egg, I have Worcestershire sauce, and I have hamburger meat. Once you get all your vegetables and everything diced up, ready to go, put it in a bowl good for mixing, and then take all these ingredients, put them in your bowl, and mix it up. Like, knead it really good, just like this. So your mixture should look something similar to this right here. When you add all your ingredients together and you have it loaf-like, I mean, most people like spread it across the pan and everything else, but however, it is a loaf of meat, meatloaf. So I make mine into where it looks like a loaf of bread. Alright, so then I put it in the oven, bake it on at 425 for a whole hour. About halfway through, I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to put Heinz ketchup on the top of it, spread it all the way across the top of it, make it look really pretty like a glaze, and then put it back in the oven for that extra 30 minutes and let it finish. Now, in the meantime, I also, in order to make the meal, to put something with it, I cut up potatoes, diced potatoes, and put a little bit of oil and water and a little bit of seasonings in with it, mix them up really good, put them in a pan, and I'm going to bake my meatloaf and my potatoes in the oven at the same time for about the same amount of time. The potatoes might need a little bit more than the meatloaf. You might want to start them a little bit early. Sometimes they may take like an hour and 15, an hour and a half, something to that degree, depending on how crispy you like them. But just keep a check on them, so that way you don't lose, so that way you don't burn it. Anyway, so I'm going to put all this in the oven, and then I'm going to get back to you when it's all done. Okay, so after we've mixed everything together, we kneaded everything together, it's been in the oven for a whole hour. Our homemade meatloaf is now ready to be taken out, sliced up, and eaten. So halfway through, like I told you before, I use ketchup. I put ketchup in a bowl. I use Heinz. I like Heinz tomato ketchup. Like it tastes better. I don't like cheap stuff. Anyway, I did that. I put a packet of brown powder, brown gravy mix, the powder stuff in there, as well as some chives. Mixed it all up, and then I pasted it all over the top of my meatloaf, put it back in the oven to finish. Now my potatoes, I told you that I put in there, I lied to you, I said it was an hour. It was a lot longer than an hour. So the potatoes have been in there for probably about 2.5 hours. So anyway, now that everything's done, everything's completed, I want to show you, this is that meatloaf, and it is delicious. And the potatoes that I have made with it, I put them in the oven at the same time. I told you it took about 2.5 hours for those to get finished. I put balsamic vinegar in there, oil, water, so everything stays hydrated, a lot of different seasonings. I put some ranch in there, just different salt, pepper, mixed it all up in the pan, and then I let it bake. Just halfway through, I just keep flipping everything in there. 2.5 hours. And I also paired everything like the vegetable. It was filled peas and snaps, and I added a can of Rotel to it just to spice it up. Anyway, I did that, and I also made my little yeast rolls. I love these better than all that frozen mess. It tastes a whole lot better to me. I like the flavor of it, making them everything myself and butter. So anyway, you know me, I'm fixing to take a bite of it because it's delicious. Probably not nutritious. Probably might have some stomach problems tonight. But I just want you to know that this homemade meatloaf recipe is mine. And I'm sharing it with you because I love you guys. Enjoy. Oh man. That was good.